Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the most exciting half hour in television. I can't. It's so hard for me to say that with a straight face.
I don't know why from now on, just be like an answering machine. You know what's coming up.
So we haven't been here for a week or so. I don't know when our last show was. We have a bunch of games to talk about.
I don't know.
A lot has happened.
We didn't do one before Carolina or before Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Or any of those.
So how are you feeling at this stage? So we're starting a new month now. February's beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we tape this show.
I'm feeling good.
Season's more than halfway over. I mean.
Well, there's only a month left in the regular season. In the next 28 days, everything will be over, and then the Big East tournament starts. Although we do have 2 games in March, at DePaul and then the Rutgers game at home.
Right.
But,
right.
It's amazing how fast it goes.
Well, let's take a look. We do have some polls to kind of take a look at where you guys are and the other teams that are around you. And again, it's so impressive, I think, how the Big East
well, last time I checked,
dominated.
We had, I want to say, there were 7 teams.
Yeah, in the top 25.
In the top 25, and then there were some, getting votes. But we've played North Carolina. We're going to play Rutgers twice. We played Stanford.
You're going to play LSU.
We're going to play LSU.
Play Duke.
Yeah, we've played Duke. We played Old Dominion. West Virginia already.
Yeah.
It's a great schedule.
Yeah, I mean, remember years ago, I know 95 for sure, when you first went undefeated and won the first national championship, everyone was all over you that your schedule was lousy.
Yeah.
Big East was lousy. And even now, people still try to talk about, the SEC.
Well, last time I checked, the SEC, I think, had 3 or 4 teams in the top 25, and there's nobody in America talking about how tough that conference is. I think sometimes, what you see on the outside is not what's really out there,
Well, this was a nice. By the way, I was looking at notes that I had in front of me. I missed this entire. This thing was so quick.
Renee.
That was it.
Yeah, Renee doesn't have many bad games. Now, you see, that's the first shot of the game. In the locker room, we said, look, we're only going to take shots early on that you're really proud of. I guess she was proud of that shot.
Well, it went in. So.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And
Brittany makes such a difference. Her presence in the lane.
Yeah, and that's a foul.
Yeah.
But no call. They're getting ready to call 6 walking calls.
A lot of walk calls.
This was a great play. We came out of a timeout, and Sade made a great pass there. We made a, we make a good. Renee loves going to the basket on the right side, and somebody asked me, how did Maya Moore play? I said, Maya Moore plays pretty well all the time. She just doesn't even know what she's doing yet. That's a great pass.
Sade had some nice passes.
Yeah, she did. She did. Again, when Sade is a little bit like Maya in that sense, when they're not thinking about what to do next.
They're really good.
That's when they're at their best.
See, that wasn't that bad of a foul. It looked a lot worse.
Yeah, and South Florida had a couple of these. And
like what? She didn't really hit. She didn't go for her. It looked awful initially.
But you know what? The rule that we have on that is that's a tough shot right there. Is you never foul in that situation and give them the bucket. You either whack the guy and they never get the ball up on the rim, or you let it go.
Right.
It's either nothing and you have to make 2 free throws.
Right.
Or you let it go for an easy layup. You don't give them 3.
Right.
That's just, and they did it a couple times.
Right. Well, I talked, and it was in the paper that Jose Fernandez was asked by a reporter, what do you like about your team? And he said nothing. And then he specified to his players to practice, because I just want you to know, I did say this, I was not misquoted.
Yeah, he's been struggling a little bit with his guys. They'll play hard, and then they'll, for whatever reason, they just stop playing. Now, Megan made a couple really good passes.
She really did. Aside from her offensive rebounds and her hustle plays, she made some really nice passes.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a great one. That's a good move right there by Keisha. When we run some stuff that we've practiced, yeah, this is good too. Lauren, you watch and She might be one of the better passers that we've had in a while. She really sees people. You know. Yeah, there's Tina getting a jump shot. She waited all game to get that. I mean, you look at the numbers and you say, well, that's not that bad.
Well, and I brought the box score in too,
You know?
because you looked completely miserable the entire game on the bench. You wouldn't come over and do the post-game interview with us. You didn't.
Had indigestion.
Nausea, perhaps.
Yeah.
And then you called 6 a.m. practice for the next day.
And I wasn't really.
What was it about the game that made you so angry?
What was it? I thought there was.
Well, can I interrupt you? And this is a quote you have in the Journal-Inquirer. I'm a little PO'd at our guys that they didn't work hard enough tonight. But after the game, we gave them their meal money. It's a great country. Whether you break a sweat or not, you get paid. What other country could you go in, sleepwalk through 40 minutes, and then get cash?
What? I'm surprised that 1,500 people then call me and say, "How do I get on scholarship?"
Well, and I think the Connecticut fans here are a little bit spoiled.
Yeah, so am I. We should be. You should expect that there's a buzz, like a lot of energy, but it wasn't there.
Right.
So the crowd just said, okay.
Right, and it's human nature. I mean, and I said this on the air that night. Clearly, there wasn't the same energy from your team that they had for the North Carolina game.
Well, no, North Carolina is really, really good. See?
Right. And South Florida came in 1-5 in the Big East.
South Florida was 1-5, and I guess it's to be expected. They're only children, so you can't expect them to be the same every day. I mean, I'm not. Nobody is. You would just think that if Megan Gardner gets the same number of offensive rebounds as Sade, Tina, Brittany, and Maya Moore combined, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign.
I hear you.
So,
all right.
For whatever reason, it happened.
Right. And they have.
But they ate good after the game. They were well fed. So anybody that thinks we mistreat our players and we only treat them nice when we,
play well and win.
Play well, trust me, they're well fed. Win or lose.
All right, well,
maybe we should stop feeding them if we don't play well. Performance-based. Performance-based.
It's a performance-based meal plan? Is that what you're saying?
Performance-based meal plan.
You're insane.
Why? 5 rebounds, $5. 10 rebounds, $10.
Oh, all right. What?
2 steals, 2 slices of pizza. No steals, nada. Work for your food. Lots of people do that in this country.
All right, so now we have the North Carolina game. That's a little bit of a happier subject, I would say. But
you want me to show the second half and say, man, you guys were great?
No, we have to show the first half, and there are some things you're not going to like. But I do want to say we did talk to Gino prior to the North Carolina game to get his prediction.
What did I say?
Let's see. I know you don't like to talk a game ahead, but any thoughts on that matchup?
On Carolina? We're going to win.
Okay. There you go. I'll leave it at that.
We're going to win.
How about that? I almost fell off my chair when you said that.
See that? Nostradamus coming back to life. Look at this. Look at this play. Okay? She just put her head down and started dribbling and then looked up and went, "Oh, time to shoot it." And then she banks him in from 30 feet. Renee was practicing that shot the other day just for fun. Her and Maya must have made about 12 of them from 25 feet.
Wow.
The first half, you're showing all the highlights. The first half, the highlights were Renee Montgomery. And I think that's what kept us from being down even more. Those. A
tough move.
Charles is working hard underneath, isn't she?
Yeah. So now you come to expect that. Oh my God! What was that? Oh, Now you take that out.
Wasn't so perfect, huh?
I can't say
points.
enough about the way she's played since, since Mel's gone out. I mean, she's just taken it upon herself to be so aggressive, And
Right.
she's so hard to guard.
Right.
Because, you have to come out and guard her.
Right.
Some players that want to put the ball on the floor, you don't come out on them.
Right.
You have to come out and guard her.
And she's got a toughness about her
She does.
that you guys have lacked.
She does.
And
she does.
And kind of the right kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Where you guys haven't had that in a while.
Yeah, she doesn't back down from anything or anybody.
Right.
And the only thing Renee has to keep getting better at is she has a tendency to sometimes just kind of watch the game. So she's either super active and she wants to score every time she touches it, or, like in a Notre Dame game, see they went like box of one or something, and she just kind of went,
Right.
But I like to see her start getting that many shots every night. I think she took 24 against Carolina. That's probably a little much, but everything is better for her this year than last year, and I think it's going to go up even more, obviously, as the season wears on.
Well, and I also have found that it's been amazing how she sort of morphed into whatever you've needed her to do. Like she shot a lot early.
Yep.
And then you said to her, okay, well, we need you to distribute a little bit more, become that point guard. And then she did that, and it took her a little while to get there because it's not an easy transition.
Right.
And now you say to her again, okay, we need you to shoot again.
Yeah, I think she's always wanted to be a scorer.
Which I think shows you what a great team player she is, that she said, all right, I'll become the point guard and I'll distribute.
Yeah. I don't know that she was ever really, really comfortable in that role. It's kind of like when we had Jen Rosati. She was a scorer and became, more of a playmaker than she had to be in high school because she had to score all the time for them. And when you have a lot of good players around you, it's easy to be a good playmaker. So for us, I don't want our guards to be, well, one guy passes it and the other guy shoots it. That's why it's important for Lauren to become a good shooter.
Right.
Because if you're not a good shooter, you can't ever be a great passer because nobody will ever come out and guard you.
Right.
So, I think guards have to be able to do it all, and certainly Renee can.
So there were times in that North Carolina game where, and I don't know how many stats you did have, but you did. Their defense, I think, initially. I see another walk call.
Yeah. Throw away. Didn't know the shot clock. Okay.
Right.
That's just a takeaway. That's a lousy pass. That's a wussy catch. You get two hands on the ball, you got to catch it. Right? That's a strip. That's a crazy play, and that's a wide open layup. Look at that pass by Maya. Maya just loves to throw the ball at anybody who's open. These last two here are two. And Keisha's a senior.
Right.
And you say those two turnovers are about as bad as you can get, where you throw the ball right into another kid's hands. So you look at Maya inbounding the ball, and I could see if a kid comes out of nowhere and makes a great steal. That Carolina kid almost went, whoa!
Wow,
and the ball almost hit her. Yeah, the ball almost hit her in the head. And then Keisha, we're up 4. She throws the ball away twice. They go down and score. Now it's a tie game. So it's not just just freshman mistakes.
Yeah.
You're talking about Sharday and Keisha are seniors.
Well, here the second half, you come out of the locker room, you're down 11.
That's a great play there.
Yeah.
Just to, start dribble penetrating. We wanted to.
You look like you guys were a little intimidated in that first half.
Well, certainly our big guys were, because they're girly girls. Look at that missed layup.
Well, that'll win you some more fans.
Who?
That comment, you, with them saying they're girly girls.
Yeah, they weren't basketball players. They were.
That's a great play.
And that's the other thing. Maya has to shoot more free throws.
Yeah, she doesn't shoot a lot of free throws.
The way you shoot more free throws, this was a huge shot right there. Because that kind of set the table for a bunch of other stuff. Great rebound by Sharday. And in the second half, Sade was really, really good. So you say, well, in the first half, she was lousy. Well, second half, she was really good.
Right.
The problem is, watch this pass. Bang. That was a great pass. That was a great pass. And you know why her passes are good? Number one, she sees it.
Right.
And number two, she puts a lot of oomph behind it.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say about that?
Yeah.
Somebody said, you have to take the good with the bad with Sade. I said, sure, as long as there's almost as much good as there is bad. I just, that second half, that was great. How often do you see that?
Right.
There's another great pass by Sade. What has to happen is you have to be good. You can't be great and then bad.
Right.
You have to be good.
Yeah.
And that's the Tina had some great follow-ups.
Oh my God, the Carolina kid, was she just almost like she had a cramp?
She's really good, but she's really bad. And now we have to that was a great steal and a great pass. When we got, what ended up happening was we rebounded the ball better in the second half.
Right.
Our transition game got going.
They looked tired.
We ran up and down the floor, forced them to get back on defense. And then Tina obviously had a great game blocking shots. And our big guys ran. Our big guys ran the floor. And she does that.
And you know what? I was at the game, and the environment in Gamble was as good an environment as I have felt in years.
It was awesome. Yeah,
Wasn't it great?
Well, a really good team. Look, another good play. Look. See, now she'll do that 10 times. Let the kid dribble by her and then try to flick it from behind. 3 times we get a steal, the other 7 they get a layup.
Right.
So, you got to just cross your fingers. But
they shot better.
But see,
than
those
you.
second
I didn't
chance,
that.
those second chance.
Did they all happen in the first half?
Yeah, they all happen in the first half. And you look at the field goals there. We got 80 shots. That's a lot of shots.
Yeah.
They only got 69.
Right.
Now you look at the other night. South Florida got more shots than we did.
Yeah.
You explain it. Then you wonder, well, geez, Gino, you didn't look really happy.
Well, we do have. This is.
Ooh,
you guys had
party.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, there's one. There's 2. Blocking shots is kind of a art. You have to have a little timing. Yeah. You have to know, when to, when not to, when to rotate over. And a lot of times refs won't let you block shots.
Yeah.
Because if they even think you might foul, sometimes they blow the whistle.
Yeah.
And then another time you kill the guy and there's no call.
Right.
Like the other night, there was 6 walks called.
Right.
In the second half, there were none until there's 2 minutes left in the game. Mm-hmm. At halftime, that's why we didn't come out till a minute left. We did a little no walking drill.
Oh yeah, what would that consist of?
We went out into the tunnel there, and we made everybody, check their right and left shoe, and made sure one foot in front of the other. Don't move this foot till you dribble the ball. And we put a little music to it, and we looked good. Da 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 da. It was good. And we came out, no walks in the second half. Talk about coaching. That's why I got pizza at the end of the game. I was coaching the other night. You think I'm kidding?
Oh my gosh. All right, so now big win against North Carolina. As big a win, as I said, I think as you guys have had in a couple of years.
A good team, too.
Well,
they probably have more talent. Carolina and Maryland have more bodies that can play than anybody else in the country.
Right.
They're good.
They are good. And for this particular group, wasn't this probably the biggest win that they've had? Against a ranked opponent?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought the win at LSU last year was a big win for them.
Yeah.
But
to see the way the kids celebrated, the way Tina Charles danced around the court, it was really fun to see that just kind of unbridled emotion from this group.
Yeah, well, it's a fun group to be around.
Yeah.
You know, they enjoy each other's company. They have fun doing things that should be fun to do. You know,
Right.
you're playing basketball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're a fun group to be around.
So, okay, so you go out to Notre Dame.
Yep.
And always a tough place to play. And I understand you got booed.
Did I?
Yeah, someone told me you got booed out there. Well,
Wow.
and then it reminded me
they
that
might
you
have-
said on this show that you hate Notre Dame. So maybe they got wind of that.
Did they?
I don't know.
Maybe they thought I was an ex-football player that beat them since they did manage 2 wins this year. Maya Moore started the game. I thought she was going to score 50.
I know.
Every time she touched the ball, it was unbelievable. She scored the first 15 points.
Right, and then
at
she
one
didn't
point it was 50. Maya 15, Sherelle Allen 11. and then Notre Dame changed it up a little bit defensively.
Right.
And
That's a great shot.
yeah, that was this because you know what? There was patience there.
Right. You could tell she caught the ball.
Tried to locate the
Sensible, yeah.
defense. Yeah, that's a good play there. That's a good play. And see, that's the advantage I think we have on a lot of other teams. You know, our big guys run the floor.
Oh.
You know, people want to talk about transition. It's not just about how fast you are. It's willingness to run the floor.
That's a great shot too.
Well, because she did all her work before she caught the
Right.
ball. You know? Yeah, Maya scored the first 15 points of the game, and then said, that's enough.
I've had it. I'll let
That's
everyone
enough.
else do their
If I
job.
score 50 tonight, they're going to expect me to get 51 the next game. And so, you know what? 15's enough. 15's enough.
Well,
No more.
you can partially, you could credit Notre Dame's defense. They
Absolutely.
mixed it up and played a box and one, triangle and two.
Yeah, like see how the way Renee reacted in the second half because she's a junior. So in the first half, Renee reacted like, annoyed.
Right.
You know, it's a sign of respect that people want to guard you. That Maya didn't really know how to react.
Right.
That's a good place. See, that's what I'm most impressed with when we play well, is how quickly, we get the ball down the floor.
Right.
This was a big possession right here, because Notre Dame could have cut it to 10. Instead, it's 15.
Right.
Yeah, that was a big swing right there. Big swing. And you can tell, you look in her eye, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's got a calmness about her.
Yeah.
And
there's something about a three-pointer on the break like that just
Hard to
devastates
guard.
defenses. Yep.
Yeah. I thought Keisha was the best player on the floor. She really dominated the game. Really did. That's another reason why you don't throw bounce passes. Unless the guy's going backdoor or something. Because they take too long to get there. And that might have been the best possession that we had. I told the kids when we watched it on film. We did a lot of good things that possession. Look at Brittany getting down the floor.
Yeah.
We were really in sync in that second half for the most part. There she goes. It's psychology. She's smarter than everybody gives her credit for. Show that. That's
Right.
a great move right there. She goes, she wants to try to guard you, then she lets you go by her, and then she goes, and then she gets you from behind.
I think he's tougher on us this year than he's been in the past.
See, there's Brittany. Brittany goes after every rebound.
She's unbelievable.
She does. There's, we're shooting better free throws.
I was going to say the free throws are getting better.
Our three-pointers, we're shooting a pretty good percentage.
Imagine if you could shoot 48, 50, and 80 every night
Yeah.
and
Well,
hold
you know,
your opponent to 30, 34, 30, and Notre Dame's always
Notre Dame's a great free throw
shooting team.
I think they bless themselves before every free throw.
It's got to be something.
It's that Catholic thing.
This was Rich Elliott's column from the Connecticut Post. When you were informed that Maya Moore labeled the game a moral loss.
Whoa.
Pretty
A
deep
moral
for a
loss.
freshman,
Very,
huh?
very.
A smile lit up your face. And you said, she's great. She just repeats what I say. I love her for that. Maya wants to be really, really good. She wants to be a great player. Sometimes you just have to settle to be really good some possessions. She can't be perfect every time.
You can't.
She tries to be perfect?
She does. She does.
And you're saying that's a bad thing.
I think it can be. Mm-hmm. In the long run, it's a great thing.
Right.
But in the meantime, it's not great all the time because Like, let's say there's something going on. The ball goes there, and, you screen here, let's just say. Well, one time the ball goes there, and there's nobody there. So normally if you just want to score, you just make a cut, make a move, and something good happens. Maya will go, oh, there was supposed to be somebody right here. Where'd that person go? And then she'll look over at me, or she'll look over at one of her teammates, and I should just cut over there. And,
then she'll beat herself up a little bit?
Yeah, she'll beat herself up a little bit. And we're trying to get her to, like, don't think about what to do next. Just trust your instincts, because that's how she's had the kind of year she's had so far.
You don't want her to ignore them?
I don't want her to ignore her instincts. I want her to trust her instincts.
Okay, well, now, are you aware of this? The WBCA announced the superlative winners for women's basketball. Yeah. The Women's Basketball Coaches Association announced its winners for the 2008 WBCA superlatives. Most likely to get a technical foul is Gino Auriemma from Connecticut.
Not true. How many do I have?
This is most likely. This is from, I would imagine, I don't know who voted in this. I don't know if you know. Probably members of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association, which is, in all likelihood, most women coaches.
Yeah. Not true, though. I bet you have less than some other people.
Well, we're getting a little defensive, aren't we?
No, not accurate.
But these people, your peers, think that you would be most likely. I think we already know what most of these peers think of you.
What? Most likely to what?
Get it technical.
Oh, what can I tell you? They're wrong.
Yeah, so.
I can name some other people that are probably
most fun to watch. Sherry Cole.
Yeah. Well, that's all the guys voting.
Yeah, exactly, which I think they're.
Most fun to watch.
She is.
Well, because she loves everybody.
She's great.
Claps for everybody. She's positive all the time.
She is.
Yeah. It's a good way to be.
Now, is she the president and you're the vice president of the WBCA?
Yeah.
So
I get to be president when she's finished, obviously, which is in 2 years.
All right.
And rest assured, there'll be a crackdown on who voted for her. All right.
All right. Let's do some questions.
The Spanish Inquisition will look.
The Italian Inquisition.
Look like a block party compared to what I'm going to do.
Okay. Why aren't Big East freshmen ever named as Big East Players of the Week? Is the award only given to upperclassmen?
I guess.
That's from, I don't know who sent it in.
I guess. But, we have not had a Player of the Week yet.
Yeah, we went over that during the game the other night on the air. We looked into it.
We've not had a Player of the Week yet. Nobody on our team's any good.
I guess not.
Let me tell you, Maya's Freshman of the Week every week because...
She's gotten it 6 times.
Yeah, well, she's the best player in the league.
Right, I know. Well, now that's the thing. They won't give her Player of the Year?
If she played at another school, they would.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's at Connecticut, that won't happen.
Right. I mean, look at this, 55% from the floor.
I mean, do you really think that, let's say we were to win the league, do you really think we're going to go to the banquet and they're going to give us the championship trophy for, winning the league, 6th Man of the Year probably for Keisha, Freshman of the Year for Maya Moore, and then they're going to give her Player of the Year? Come on.
Right.
Come on. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, never.
Because
never does.
You know why? Because you have to spread it around and make everybody happy.
Says who?
Says who? It's women's basketball. Everybody has to be happy at the end of the day. Forget what's right and what's wrong. Everybody has to be happy.
We want to make everybody happy.
And as long as everybody's happy, then we're good to go.
All right, so the way you can handle that is just
keep winning.
Just keep winning. Who cares about the individual stuff, right?
Don't ever try to win something where people are voting.
Right.
Win things that they keep score.
Right.
Because in a vote, people vote funny.
Well, most likely to get it technical.
A lot of hanging chads in the Big East. Trust me when I tell you that. Come on, let's go. Question.
All right.
Fire them off.
I'm
Lightning
sorry,
round
you're
here.
complaining over here. In a Sports Illustrated feature, Maya Moore was asked to complete this phrase. I'm deathly afraid of, and she had to fill in the blank. And her answer was nothing.
Oh.
Now, Coach, this is from Carl. Is it possible that you're not trying hard enough? I think that's a pretty funny one, Carl. I like that. Good job.
Said that to who?
Are you not trying? She's scared of nothing. Why are you not trying hard enough?
Why would you be afraid? You're 6'1". You're on full scholarship at Connecticut. You're the best player in the league. you're a 4.0 student. Oh, actually, she got a B+. Sorry, she's like a 3.9.
Oh.
You're bright, you're articulate, you know, you're just a great person. What's there to be afraid of?
I don't know, maybe spiders.
Yeah,
Snakes.
Snakes.
Things like that.
Well, until they move games outdoors, I don't think she has to worry about that.
So she's not afraid of you. That's a good sign.
No, you shouldn't be afraid of me. Nobody should be afraid of me. You should look me right in the eye and go, yeah, take this.
Well, how about the rhetorical question? You
Well,
say you
yeah,
were quoted in the paper. That was funny. You'll say, like, Maya, what are you doing?
And she'll tell you.
Actually answer you. Why didn't any of the upperclassmen say, yo, dope, don't answer him?
Because they just laughed. They want her to answer.
Because they want you to, that takes the pressure off them.
The minute something happens in practice and she starts explaining it, sometimes she's explaining it to the other to her teammates, who are all looking at her like, what? And then when she starts explaining it to me or to somebody, anybody who will listen, you should see Renee's eyes just roll, and she just turns around and just starts laughing. You know? Yesterday she had a great comment. You know, I was pointing out some things that are going to happen in this particular instance, right? This cut. And she goes, yeah. And I could even set a back screen there to get that guy open. And everybody went, yeah, you could. You could. That would be awesome. Really. I told her. I said, son of a gun. Oprah's going to have that. Maya Moore sets back screen. Wow.
Oh,
but she just wants to let you know, I got it, Coach. I got it. I got it.
Can you compare her to anyone else that has come through your program?
Anyone else? She's a little bit of a lot of people.
Yeah.
She got some Nikisha Sales in her.
Yeah.
It's hard to get like really mad at her. Even when you're mad at her, you're not really mad at her.
Well, Nikisha was the original Precious.
Yeah.
You never yelled at Nikisha.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever yelled at her.
No. One time I did, and she didn't talk to me for a week. If I'd have known that, I would have yelled at her more.
Yeah, right.
She's got a little bit of Sveta in her.
Yeah.
She's stubborn. She thinks she knows everything about everything. She's perfectionist like Sveta was. Mm-hmm. She's fearless like Diana. You know, she's not, like she said, she's not afraid of anything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we joked about that, but that's a great.
She got to get a little. She got to get a little Jamel or Swin in her. Mm-hmm. She got to get a little inside the lane, like knock some bodies around. You know, catch it,
and that's something that Renee has, and maybe Renee can help her with that.
She still has the same level of confidence as Renee.
Right, but Renee has. I have seen. And I'm not trying to say Renee's mean, but you got to have a little bit of that in you.
But Renee didn't necessarily have that as a freshman.
No.
You know, and
I'm seeing it now for the first time.
Yeah. It takes a little bit of time.
Right.
You know, she will get it though.
Right.
She'll get it. Like right now, we've played 20 games.
Right.
She has shot a grand total of 38 free throws.
That's
not 2 a game.
Right.
I mean, and you look at her, you say, who can knock her around? Nobody.
Right.
She ought to just be getting the ball and boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. And we got to get to that point.
Well, someone did notice all of she does wear a lot of safety apparatus, which is
safety apparatus.
Some guy wrote in. I mean, the knee pads and her ankle braces are different than anybody else's. She must have come in with them. Yeah,
she had those. I don't know what they're for.
I would imagine her
obviously
ankles.
for their ankles. So I'm looking at her picture. She has ankle braces.
Yeah.
She has knee pads. But they're not really pads. They're kind of like wraps.
Yeah, what are they? Are they like from volleyball or something? Or
I don't know. They look like she would install a carpet any minute now. You know, they wear those things.
Or she's working out on a construction site. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like at halftime, you know, she'll just come in and carpet your living room or something. And then she's got these thigh pads that they wear underneath their shorts. You know, they have these compression shorts. Well, now they put these little protective, really thin.
Really? You know, like football players?
Yeah, see that picture right there? I don't know if you get the camera on there. See, she's got them on there. And you wonder, you know, with all that stuff going on, there's a picture. Good job, Mike. So.
That's JT.
Oh, JT, good job. So you say, with all that stuff going on, how about you get in there and like start whacking people around and get to the free throw line? You're not going to get hurt. You know, pretty soon she's going to look like the Michelin Man. You know, she'll be coming to the games like this.
Oh, my gosh.
She's the best player on the team.
She is.
She may be having the best year of any player in the country right now.
Well, and that's what my question is, and we were talking about this the other night, and I'm forgetting which national award it is that freshmen are not eligible for. Is that the Naismith?
I guess so.
But what about like any of the other national player of the year?
I don't know.
And because I don't believe a freshman has ever won any of them, and God forbid we should set a precedent here.
No, it won't happen. It won't happen. Like,
you think she'll be first team All-American?
Well,
maybe does it depend on how far you go?
I don't know. There's probably 10 guys in the country that you'd rather have other than her, right? Not. But somehow they'll, you know, I think she's a first team All-American. How could you be better than her? What could anybody be doing in the country that's better than what she's doing?
Right. I mean, you're the number one team in the country. She's the best player on your team.
Right.
And I guarantee you she won't.
I bet you she is.
All right, let's shake on it.
All right. I bet you she is. Remember, I'm going to be president of WBCA. All those people who said I'm going to get a technical, they owe me now. They'll vote for her.
Okay. All right, we'll see about that.
I got to twist some arms, break some legs. Pretend it's Chicago politics.
Gino, do you watch any women's games when they're live on TV, like the Duke-Tennessee game the other night? Did you watch that?
I saw some of it.
Yeah?
I saw the first half. Then I get sick of it and I, watch CSI or something like that. Or,
Do you ever get basketball out? Do you ever just not want to watch games?
Like, I used to watch a lot more games. I don't watch as many games now.
No.
There's too many games on.
Right.
Like back in the day when, there was only a couple games a week on, I would make sure to catch those. But now, there's just too many games on.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, we did the safety apparatus. We only have a minute left. Brittany Hunter, we have a minute left. But Brittany, you keep her in the game, and this person noticed that it appears that sometimes past the point of like Notre Dame, 3 minutes left, 22-point lead, she was still playing.
Well, Brittany has a minute limit.
Right. So you want to get her to...
So, let's say in one game it's 15 minutes. Like in the Carolina game, it was she didn't play at all.
Right. So Notre Dame was her first game back.
So she didn't play. So the only way you're going to play is you got to get her some minutes out there.
Right.
Otherwise, she's going to be rusty all the time.
Right.
So you can't worry about what the score is.
So she plays usually 13 minutes a game, about 10?
Sometimes it's closer to 15.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I hate to say this, but we are out of time. Time goes so quickly on the show. Thank you for watching, folks. The Providence game is coming up next. Stay tuned for our next Gino Auriemma show. Look for it in your local news. We'll talk to you soon.
UConn has taken a giant step toward another title. Trying to win them all is the American way. It's downright patriotic. It's still 23 hours until the start of that other game, but we will show you some field goals and some passes, and who knows, maybe even some blocks. This team is undefeated too. In fact, they are super. But will they remain perfect? Find out next on CPTV. Be a super weekend for this fan or for this one. The Duel in the Desert is tomorrow night. Tonight on Groundhog Day, we are at Gamble Pavilion in Stores, where the Providence Friars visit the #1 ranked UConn Huskies. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Megan Kumo. Thanks for spending your Super Bowl Eve with us. For the 6th time in its history, UConn is off to a 20-0 start. So why, Megan, is Coach Gino Auriemma so unhappy with his troops?
Well, have you ever talked to him during a season? He's one of those typical head coaches where he's always miserable. But the bottom line is every day in practice, he sees stuff about his team that he's not thrilled with. Weaknesses, that he's trying to hide. And of late, the last couple games, these weaknesses are coming out and surfacing in different ways. Turning the basketball over, it's something that they cannot do. You've got to maximize every possession, take care of the basketball. Look at him. Poor guy's miserable. Probably another migraine on top of it all. And rebounding the basketball. They have been out-rebounded the last 2 games, both against South Florida and Notre Dame. This team has, especially with the way they've been depleted with players, they're limited with the number of bodies they have. They've got to maximize every minute.
If it weren't for bad luck, Providence wouldn't have any luck at all because of injuries and academic woes. The Friars have only 9 players tonight.
Yeah, not what you want coming in against the #1 team in the country on their home floor, especially when those players who are out are 2 of the best on the team. Marandola and Bovey, 2 of their best scorers from last year. Howard has a bad knee. Now, Bovey also has a knee. Marandola has a bad back. Now, the young players for this Friars club are going to have to come up big, and that's a tall test against an experienced Husky team.
Sometimes being number 2 is not so bad after all. Moving from the 1 guard to the 2 guard has seen Renee Montgomery increase her scoring. She's averaging more than 21 per game. The opening tip is next. Let's check out the starting lineups first for the visiting Friars. Shantae Darien is the 9th leading rebound in the Big East. She gets 8 per game. Against Fordham, she had 26 points and 16 rebounds. And for UConn freshman Maya Moore scored 23 Wednesday against USF. In the first 20 games of her career, she has scored 20 or more points 7 times. Phil Seymour is in his 3rd season as the coach of the Providence women's team. Before that, spent 5 years as an assistant for the Friars men's team. And at 84.2%, Gina Auriemma has the highest career winning percentage of any active coach in the country. And Megan, once again, Brittany Hunter will rest her sore knee tonight. She will not play.
Yeah, you know, it's that game they continue to play. Will she or will she not play? And unfortunately for the Huskies, but fortunately for Providence, Brittany's out tonight.
Kylie McLaren getting her first start of the season. John Palermo, Mark Zentz, and Tom Danaher are our officials tonight. Friars wearing the visiting black. They're 11-9 overall, 1-6 in the Big East. The turn by Hankins.
Well, this freshman is having an outstanding season for the Friars.
And this one is 2 for UConn. Moore misses the 3, and Tina Charles gets an early rebound. We keep our eye on her. She was the source of much consternation during the week. She was benched for most of the second half the other night. Moore,
nice
good look. Boy, that time.
Tremendous pass. Yeah. Tremendous pass from Maya Moore. Just knowing what she wanted to do with the basketball before she got it.
Might be the most overlooked aspect of her game, her passing.
Yeah, she's tremendously unselfish. A great passer.
72nd assist of the season for Maya Moore. CPTV invites you to test your UConn knowledge and win a home theater system. And every time you play, you'll be entered to win one of our 7 season-ending grand prizes, 3 HD TVs. Stay tuned for tonight's trivia question. I think I added the word 7 there. There's no 7. 3 HD TVs. So don't be asking for 7 if you win. You're not going to get them just because the clown can't read right. The shot no good. Long rebound. Moore has Montgomery to her left. Finds her for 3. Rebound Kylie McLaren. Got that one flat-footed.
Wow. How about Kylie, though? She ripped that ball down with one hand and put it back up.
McLaren is deceptively quick and agile for someone her size.
And she's got great hands, really good feet. I mean, she's flat-footed, but she can move quicker than you think, as you said.
Hankins with the miss. Moore kept the rebound alive for Charles. Dixon has Moore left. Look at Moore run the floor, but Dixon threw it half beat behind her. We'll get our first held ball of the evening, and it will go to UConn.
In a case that might have been a case to throw that ball up in the air, leading Maya Moore. Pretty good job defensively by Providence. The bounce pass was behind.
Yeah, maybe for an alley-oop. We understand that Maya and Tina Charles engaged in a little dunking contest at the end of practice this week. Both can dunk.
Yeah, making it look effortless.
Here's Moore looking inside. The Friars are playing zone. We may see 40 minutes of zone. They're so undermanned. McLaren's got 4.
Yeah, Providence has to play zone, and McLaren does such a good job of roaming that high post.
Very good passer, especially when facing the basket. Montgomery nearly got the steal. Here's Holmes, who's a sophomore from Charlotte, leads the team in assists. She's number 20 and plays the point. Shot clock at 10. Hankins' pass went right through the hands of Darien. Here's Montgomery, has Dixon left, took it to the hole herself.
Renee Montgomery, for her entire career, has been so good at getting to the basket here in traffic. But good defense and, you know, getting that ball out quickly is a key on the break. And she just has a nose for the rim. She can just get to the rim, and she's so strong. She typically gives herself a good chance to get a three-point play.
First foul of the evening, and it was on Kendria Holmes. Montgomery at 75% is UConn's best free throw shooter.
I just love how Montgomery has stepped up her game. You know, we've talked a lot about how moving from the 1 to the 2, she's shooting the ball a lot more, but there's a toughness about her that she has really taken over the leadership of this team another level.
Dorsey's shot is blocked by McLaren, but a foul will be called on Kylie. First foul of the evening on the Huskies. So to the free throw line will go Brittany Dorsey, the sophomore from Detroit. This is a very, very young Providence team. And Megan, a team that had made such great strides in Phil Seymour's first 2 seasons before they just got hammered by injuries this year.
Well, I mean, the year before he got here, before he took the job, they had 1 win. And then he had 8 in his first season. He had 13 wins last year. And they've got 11 already this year. And he's doing it without some of his best scorers and contributors overall in Marandola and Bovey.
Marandola, second team All Big East a year ago. Lauren Dixon, baseline jumper.
I mean, that's what they need Lauren Dixon to do. See the big smile on her face from the freshman from New York. The kid loves to play, is a happy kid. But there was nothing spectacular about that play. You know, 8-10 feet from the basket, just knocked down open shots.
Dixon getting her 5th straight start, all since the season-ending injury to Mel Thomas. Dorsey penetrates, leaves for Darien. Rebound McLaren. Here's Montgomery, has more ahead on the left. Can't find her. Instead, pull up. Offensive rebound, Charles. And she's fouled by Hankins.
Not for nothing, but Renee Montgomery took that 3 on the break and then was hit from behind. I don't know if she fell on it. Let's see what happens here. She takes the shot. Hard to see if she just fell. Didn't really look like it. It looked initially as if there was some contact.
Foul was not on Hankins. Instead, it was on Darien, who sort of whacked Charles across the chest. She knocks down the first shot. Of course, the other night, Charles spent the first 15 minutes of the second half on the bench, and Gino Auriemma said, I just think there's a big difference between trying hard and at some point wanting to be the best in the country at your position.
Well, and here's the difference. What we don't know is the conversations that they have had over time, and she wants to be a first-team All-American. She wants to be the best center in the country. Well, then you have to play like that every night, and he won't let you take a night off. Human nature wants to take the night off. He won't let you.
Hankins, with Charles' hand in her face, knocks down the jumper. And about the best player in the country, Charles played like the best center in the country in the second half against North Carolina. That's the night she had 19 rebounds against a very talented and athletic Tar Heel front line. Dixon for 3. Rebound Charles, weak side. Back out to Montgomery, lobs it inside to McLaren, and she is whacked. This time it is on Hankins. Her first and 3 on the team.
You know, again, we're seeing a different energy level from the Huskies. We saw a great energy level. Those of us who watched it on TV or were here in the North Carolina game didn't see it in the game the other night, but it's back.
McLaren had a 10-point-10 rebound effort against Cincinnati, making the most of her first start of the season. She's already got 4 points. Well, you figure out why. Was it the coach prodding his potential All-American center? But look at those numbers. 13 minutes the other night, 4 rebounds. 4:01 tonight, 5 rebounds. Coincidence?
I think not.
And you notice that shot of the head coach, he was not rubbing his forehead.
Yeah.
Instead, he's pondering. There's the thoughtful. McLaren.
I did say to him, though, I said, you know what, you guys have played 20 games, and that was the first game that we've seen where they sort of seem to take a night off and it was sort of a block game.
Holmes with the runner finds the glass. Here's Moore, who is yet to score. This might be the first time, well, other than the Syracuse game where she didn't score in the first half. This is a drought for her, going 4.5 minutes without scoring. Down low, Moore has it knocked away. Good hustle by Providence, but taking it over the end line was Emily Cournoyer. Sister Erin plays for Rhode Island, and her older sister Jamie played at BC and is the leading shot blocker in Eagles history.
How about the genes in that family, huh?
McLaren sits down, replaced by Soignier, so the Huskies go small. 5'4" Dixon, 5'7" Montgomery, and 5'7" Soignier. Charles in the lane.
See, there's just a different purpose about Tina Charles tonight. Nice pass.
5th and 6 points of the night, and there's Charles with a blocked shot. Her 39th of the year. Inside Cournoyer with the rebound. And Moore took it away to the cutter. Montgomery. Oh, she was hammered by Cournoyer. Wasn't trying to hurt her, but that's what happens when one player's 6'4" and the other one's 5'7". She got a handful of shoulder there.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, it all starts on the other end of the floor with the nasty block from Tina Charles that gets the break started.
Charles 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 block shot already.
And Gino has said in the past that Tina Charles, there's really only 2 people that can stop Tina. Him by not playing her, or her by not really showing up and playing the way she's capable of.
Well, I would submit maybe a third. Sylvia Fowles did a pretty good job of stopping her in the Elite Eight last year. The game that knocked UConn out. Of course, Fowles was a first-team All-American. Holmes with the miss. Rebound, Cournoyer. She's been very active since she entered the game. Holmes will reset the offense. Hankins gets it back. Up top, Holmes. Cournoyer sets the screen. Instead, she went the other way. Tried to use that glass again. Offensive rebound, Darien. Rebound number 6, Charles. Here's Dixon, who was Charles's high school teammate at Christ the King in Middle Village, New York. Up top, Montgomery. Soignier finds Moore to Montgomery on the left. Entry pass, Charles, turn and shoot.
I notice a focus of this of the guards to get the ball inside to Tina Charles.
And Phil Seymour is going to his bench to bring in a third center. Charles with 8 points and 6 rebounds is eating the Friars alive in the first 6 minutes. Not a good time for Providence to be coming to Gamble. Cross-court pass, Montgomery stole it, nearly taken back. It will be UConn's ball. And here comes the third center, Aga Lorenz, at 6'6", the tallest player in Friars history. Moore will inbound near sideline.
This is the tallest team in Providence history, along with Lorenz being the tallest player. They've got enough players over 6 foot. This is the tallest Friar club ever.
Charles is really fighting for position in the low post. She got the message.
I'll tell you what, Lorenz is working hard in there.
Yeah, she just fouled her too. Number 1 on Lorenz, already 5 team fouls on the Friars. Lorenz is from Poland, played a couple of years at Miles Community College in Montana. Here's Megan Gardner. What a game she had the other night coming off the bench.
Well, and Gino Auriemma made sure the bench understood that every offensive rebound that she got, he reminded, and she made a great pass here to the cutting Maya Moore, wide open.
You can't get an assist faster than that. Half second into the game, she got her assist. She had 3 assists the other night, 6 rebounds in 11 minutes. She didn't even take a shot, and she made a tremendous contribution. Here's Trinity Hall, number 2, to Hankins. Huskies going man-to-man. Lorenz turns. I don't know what that one was. It was either a bad shot or a very bad pass. Moore in traffic and the foul.
And the problem, you know, Providence only has 9 players. We're seeing so many fouls committed here. Well, they're going to be depleted even further because people are going to foul out of this game. Once again, Maya Moore running the floor better than anybody else. And Kanoyer got caught there with the foul.
Her second, 6th on the team. And Moore makes it a 10-0 UConn run. And a 23-6 lead. And Phil Seymour wants to talk things over. Gino Auriemma's club looking for its 34th straight regular season win. Phil Seymour's club already trailing by 16 points against the #1 ranked team in the country. And Phil told me his approach, given the difference in talent and the depleted number of his troops, I want us to go out and compete, run our offense, and try to get better as a team over 40 minutes.
And he told me before the game, he goes, I just want our kids to learn from this. Regardless of what happens, they're so young, they just got to learn from it.
Brittany Dorsey knocks down her 19th three of the year.
And you see the domination in the lane. And the Huskies really focusing on getting that ball into the lane. You see there, 14 points. And they've done a good job on the other end, taking Providence out of the lane.
Charles wide open inside, no one found her. Instead, Moore hits the jumper. So she has 7 points in a hurry.
Hey, didn't you just say she didn't have any points?
Yep.
She heard
About
you.
30 seconds ago I said that. Providence does a nice job of beating the press, got a wide open look, and there's Moore with rebound number 2.
And this is where they get you, that long rebound, and then they run the floor so well, and then not many people can finish as well as Maya Moore.
All right. I would venture to say that there isn't a player in the country who plays the 3 spot, who gets from one end of the floor to the other faster than Maya Moore, and she does it consistently and gets so many layups as a result. Ooh, Dorsey with back-to-back threes. That should have been a 4. That's when they have these contests during timeouts. They
Nice
take
pass.
shots from there. Nice look. Tina Charles, she's a passing machine.
Well, when your big guys can pass the ball as well as UConn's can, so many things can happen offensively for you. And it just makes offense so much more fun to run.
UConn's got 29 points in the first 8.5 minutes. Hankins from the left knocks it down.
And once again, the Huskies have 8 assists on 10 field goals. Distributing the ball and sharing it very well.
Charles from the foul line gets the roll. She's got 10 points already.
I'm not sure this young Providence team knows what to do right now.
Well, one thing they got to do is take a timeout. It might be in part to give his team a rest. They need a rest. They only have 9 players. It's the 6th of 8 games this season at Gamble Pavilion. The first one and only one on a Saturday night. Senior night this year will be more of a late afternoon matinee. It's a 4 o'clock start against St. John's. Maya Moore with 11 points tonight. You know what that means, Meg. That means she scored in double figures in her first 21 games of her career.
That's pretty remarkable what she's done. You think of all the great players who have played here.
They've had a few. Dorsey trying to avoid the held ball and does. Holmes with the pull-up. Long rebound to the smallest player in the court, and then Dorsey knocks her down. And John Palermo will get her for her first foul.
Well, it's going to be really important as she comes up holding her right hand. I don't know if it was her thumb or what, Lauren Dixon, but it's important for the guards to go down and rebound.
It'll be UConn at the free throw line. 17 fouls already. We said that Moore runs from end to end well. There's an illustration. In case you're wondering why the crowd, they showed a shot of Megan on the big video board, and the crowd has not stopped cheering. Tina Charles, they were cheering for her. That's what they're cheering for.
Well, working so hard in the lane to score and then dominating on the defensive end. Look how big that body is. Keeps her arms up and gets herself in a great position before she catches the ball. So once she gets it, it's an easy jump hook.
And with 2 blocked shots tonight, she has surpassed Ann Strother at number 10 in the career block shots list. She also has 10 points, and she has 6 rebounds. The applause actually was for a contestant. Remember we told you they do those shots? Well, this guy made a half-court shot, and he won $500 in cash as a result. Dixon making a rare appearance at the free throw line. Only her 21st attempt of the season. Found it interesting this week, Megan, where Gino Auriemma acknowledged that he and his assistants had actually considered the possibility of redshirting Lauren Dixon because they had 2 other point guards and they were wondering where's she going to get minutes.
Oh boy, are they happy they decided against that one. You know, you never know. And she's still shaking that right hand. There's still something going on with her right hand from that rebound she pulled down before. And Rosemary Regal did look at it over on the bench during the break, but you're right. I mean, they're so thankful they didn't redshirt her. They would be lost without her.
Sharday Houston is in the game. Boy, this possession of Providence is just, it's got turnover written all over it. They haven't turned it over yet, but they're trying. UConn helping.
UConn is just so good defensively, and again, Providence is just so young.
Well, there's your turnover. It came in a form of a shot clock violation. But they just never got into the offense because every pass attempted by one of Phil Seymour's players was deflected. There's Montgomery. Charles will come back in replacing Gardler. Of course, next up for the Huskies will be a very interesting game. 4th-ranked Rutgers Tuesday night on the road. Rutgers beat Pitt today. There's the upcoming schedule. Rutgers on the road and then Seton Hall on the road. It's going to be all Garden State week for the Huskies. 2 trips to New Jersey. How lucky are they?
Yeah, easy travel.
Hope they have the easy pass. Here's Houston. Hands to Moore. I can say that because I'm a Garden State native. Down low, McLaren. Another assist for Tina Charles.
Well, just really good offense by the Huskies. Good patience. Moving well without the ball. Getting everybody involved.
Rutgers beat Pitt today, by the way. That's Pitt's first loss in the league, so that means UConn is now all alone in first place in the Big East. They're a half game ahead of Rutgers. Rutgers is 8-1, UConn 7-0, and a full game ahead of Pitt, where they will be if they win tonight.
How about that quick release?
Yep. Trinity Hall. She's been bothered by stress fractures recently.
Yeah, she doesn't practice too much. That just wears on you. If you can't practice.
Moore and Charles got a little mixed up on their signals there. And by the way, having enough bodies to practice has been a huge problem for Providence this year.
Yeah, Phil Seymour even had to suit up and practice. Poor guy almost
Chelsea Marindol
needed oxygen administered halfway through. You see all the injured bodies over in there on that bench.
Seymour did practice with the team on the road before their game at Notre Dame the other day. And he says the players didn't like it. He said they didn't like having this old sweaty guy in the court, and I could see they were very uncomfortable. So I decided to stop practicing, and that was just fine by me.
Oh, yeah, he probably needed to be in traction the next morning.
But, I mean, they only have Ashley Etheridge, who had some academic issues, just got cleared to play academically yesterday, so she's available for duty tonight. Doesn't mean she'll play. Pass deflected out of bounds, 4 to shoot for the Friars. So prior to that, they only had 8 players, and one of them, as you mentioned, Hull, bothered by the stress fractures, doesn't practice. So that's 7. I mean, you need 10 players to run your stuff.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. And, you know, UConn had those troubles years ago, back in the late 80s.
Well, here's not very good clock awareness. 4 seconds left in the shot clock, and Holmes just acted as if there was a full 30. 5th turnover for Providence, 2 on shot clock violation.
Well, and what this does for Providence, having the low numbers that they have, the young kids are getting a lot of minutes, and this is great experience for them. So as they go forward with their careers, they will be so much better if they can just get through this year. You know, he's a great coach. As you see Soigné knocking down the jumper. But he is a good coach, and they will get better from this, and they'll be a much different team next year with healthy bodies.
Marindola is hopefully going to be back next year. She has a disc issue in her back. She elected not to have surgery, and she's hoping by resting a year she'll be ready to go next year.
Great hustle there by Sharday Houston to create that turnover for the Huskies. 4th
steal for UConn. Down low, Charles will earn another trip to the foul line. This foul is going to be on 55 Clark, her first, 8 on the team. Charles looks for her 11th and 12th points when we come back. Seton Hall would be next on the schedule after Rutgers. The Pirates are 3-4 going into their game tomorrow against West Virginia. At 13-6, 6. Seton Hall is off to its best start since the 93-94 season. And since that game is on a weekend, there will be just a few UConn fans who will make that very manageable trip next Saturday. Only about 2 hours to South Orange.
Nice offensive rebound and move to the hoop by Sharday Houston. She's still wearing tape on that left thumb. Although she gave me the thumbs up earlier when I asked her about it.
That was very clever, I thought. You said, how's the thumb? And she answered by giving you the thumbs up sign. Quick thinking.
And a very silly face on top of it. Glad that was the finger that it was taped, though. Could have been, might have been a different message had it been another finger.
Hankins with the shot. Now, why do you have to go there? Houston with the rebound. Just because someone with a dirty mind in the truck sets you up to that. Montgomery, deep three. There's a whistle. What do we got here? A foul away from the play in the lane. I think it's on
Tina Charles. Yeah, a little too aggressive posting up.
Her first only 2 on UConn. The UConn team just does not foul. On top of everything else, they rarely put the other team on the foul line.
And if I'm an opposing coach, I will be reminding the officials about that the entire game. Make the officials call more fouls.
Great hustle getting the ball while on her knees was Darien, but UConn comes away with it anyway. It was Kelly Hall, the coach at Cincinnati, who told me that Montgomery with the miss. And on the rebound, McLaren will get her second foul and 3 of the team. He said, you know, they can shoot from the perimeter. They got a great post game, great transition game, and it's maddening. They never foul. This team never fouls.
I'm sure there's coaches out there who would disagree with that. But they do play a physical style. They do. But you know, I think what also helps in that is that they've been playing a lot of zone defense this year.
Yep. Look at that hustle by Montgomery. Oh wow.
Maya Moore almost took Keisha Soignier out running after that ball.
Montgomery tried to force the ball through the middle. Instead, Moore for 3. And the long rebound will come out to Dorsey. UConn had made 10 straight shots until that Moore miss. Hankins, baseline, will draw the foul on Houston. Her first.
Well, and Houston, Bob, I think she could have stepped in and taken a charge there. She was coming over to help. Tina Charles got beat on that baseline. Houston came over. Let's take a look and see if, there, the ball goes by. Come out earlier, meet Hankins there right outside the lane and make her charge into you.
Well, we told you about the Providence injuries. Phil Seymour told me, look, you can't feel sorry for yourself. We still have 11 games to play. We can't cancel them just because we have injuries. And this is the turnaround under him. I mean, look at that. That just doesn't happen in college basketball, where a team wins 7 more games one season than the year before, and then 5 more. They went plus 12 in 2 years. I mean, just check out the results around the country. That just doesn't happen.
No, and he did it in the conference as well. They had 10. That was the first time they had 10 conference wins since 1990.
And 1990 was a banner year for the Friars. They won the Big East championship in this building, as you know all too well.
Sadly, I remember being on the losing end of that game.
The runner in the lane, Dorsey. Rebound knocked out of bounds by the Friars. Good hustle there by Gardler. There's a look at Dorsey.
Well, you know, what people don't remember is that this Providence team back in the late 80s, early 90s was outstanding basketball team.
They went to the NCAA tournament 5 times in a 7-year period. However, they haven't been since 1992. They went to the Sweet 16 in 1990. Charles. Shot clock inside 10. Soignier, Moore set the screen.
Got to give Providence a lot of credit for playing great defense here.
Gardler has her shot blocked, and we're going to get a shot clock violation as a result.
Best defensive possession for the Friars all night.
There's a look at Gino Auriemma, who has 641 career wins, 10th most among active coaches, and he's rapidly closing in on number 9, his old buddy Jim Foster. Look at Charles is shaking her hand.
She put her hand in there to knock that ball down. I don't know if she jammed a finger or what.
Hall with the jumper.
So when Soignier just went down, I thought she twisted an ankle. But thankfully for the Huskies, she's okay.
Montgomery drives and draws the contact. Foul number 2 on Hankins and 9 on the team.
See, Montgomery she takes so many free throws because she's aggressive getting to the basket.
Second personal foul on Hankins, 19
And as I said before, Bob, she's so strong. The ball gets up there, and she has a legitimate chance every time to get that old-fashioned three-point play. This one sat up there and fell out.
Well, when they made the switch of Montgomery from the 1 guard to the 2 because of the injury to Mel Thomas, in her first game, she had 27 points and 7 threes. In her next game, she had 26 points and 6 threes. Mel Thomas injured that knee on January 15th against Syracuse. And there are her numbers.
And you think of what she could have accomplished with all the games that she's missing this year. It's a sin as a senior with this being the best year since she's been here.
Cornwaller's handoff was stolen by Charles, and then Moore with a nasty collision while going for the ball just steamrolled Dorsey, who is yet to get up. Moore gets her first foul and 5 on the team. That's just what Providence needs, another injury.
Yeah, and it was a bizarre play, and let's see how this happened. Good defense there by Charles to steal that pass from Canoyer, and then she got hit right in the face. It's hard to tell if it was her hand or just her body that ran into. Looks like maybe she just cut her lip.
So she will get a little assistance on the bench. Can't play when you're bleeding by rule. So Hull and Holmes will form a diminutive backcourt at 5'5" and 5'6". And a discontinued dribble called on Hull, 10th turnover on the Friars. Providence got hammered last time out at Notre Dame on Wednesday, 85-54. This is the second of 3 straight games against top 25 opponents. West Virginia is next. The Big East schedule, Megan, is unforgiving.
Oh, it's brutal. 7 teams in the top 25.
Montgomery feeds Charles. Nice deflection by Canoyer. And Holmes comes away with it. That's the 6th turnover for UConn. And a block shot by Moore. 3 on 2 if they hurry. Gardler left, Soignier right.
Nice block.
Recovery blocked by Hankins. So end-to-end action for UConn and Providence. That block shot for the Huskies, their 3rd of the night. They're 8th in the country in that category.
St. John's.
Somewhat of a surprise.
That's a great win for Kim Barnes-Enrico's club.
And one more game tonight. USF at Louisville. Tomorrow, West Virginia at Seton Hall. Gardler to inbound. Next Saturday, the Huskies will visit Seton Hall, 2 o'clock for you here on CPTV. Download Charles. She's got a dozen.
That's a great play there. Just catch the ball. She knew where the defense was before she caught it. And great composure going up.
She's 5 of 6 from the floor, and the Huskies just dominating the lane as they've dominated all season long. They've now outscored opponents in the paint this year, 818 to 338. And a traveling violation on Hankins. 11th turnover for Providence.
And it's funny that this is Providence's tallest team of all time with those 6 players over 6 feet. But proving no match right now for the Huskies inside game.
Getting out rebounded 20-7. Soignier feeds Moore. Well, that shot was just ball in and out of her hands and on its way to the rim.
How quickly she releases the ball.
Pull up by Hull. Rebound Gardler gives to Soignier, who wants to push the pace. Montgomery starts to go, and Holmes knocked it away. 7th turnover for Connecticut. They had 18 the other night. Canoyer. Trapped down low, and Charles just took it right out of her hands. And then they're going to call a held ball.
Held ball, Providence. defense position.
Arrow pointing toward Providence.
See what happens here. The ball just kind of got put in her hands. Crowd was trying to boo, saying, "Ah, come on, that's not a jump ball."
Well, if it wasn't, it would have been a walk on Charles. She fell to the floor with the ball. There's the jumper by Darian. 2:20 remaining first half. UConn by 20. They won by 23 the other night. We mentioned they didn't play particularly well, not up to UConn standards, and Gino Auriemma said it's pretty good that we stunk and we still won by 20.
Well, there, that time Tina Charles walked, which you see the reaction, not unlike the other night.
I don't think he's going to bench her to start the second half, though.
No,
it's just a guess.
So.
With 12.6 rebounds, a couple of blocks, 5 for 6 from the floor. 2 minutes to go in the half. UConn has beaten the Friars 22 straight times. Dariana Montgomery fight for it. Last touch by UConn.
The guards are going to have to come down and rebound. With UConn with a small lineup here. Maya Moore playing the 4. Tina Charles at that center position. Megan Gardler playing the 3.
Again, Hunter not playing tonight because of her knee. It's the 6th game she's missed this year. Another offensive rebound, but Montgomery took it away. It's a 3-on-1 if they hurry. Montgomery ball fake. Leaves for Soignier for 3. '18th 3 of the year for the senior from Columbus, Georgia, who has dramatically improved her long-range shooting from last season.
She just has the confidence to take that shot. I don't think in years past she would have attempted that 3. And now not only does she attempt it, she shoots it thinking she's going to make it.
Hull looks inside, goes around the Canoyer screen on the switch, guarded by Charles, then tried to get it back to Darian, but couldn't. 13th turnover for Providence. Friars started the year by winning their first 4 of their first 5 and 8 of their first 10, but they've now lost 4 straight and 6 of 7. They have 11 wins. It's only 2 shy of a year ago. Soignier another 3.
And from Providence's perspective is, okay, who do we let shoot the ball? If we have to leave somebody, that's what makes this UConn team so tough to defend. And Soignier being a consistent threat from the outside makes these guys really difficult to guard.
UConn has scored 47 points already. Deflected out of bounds by UConn. 14 to shoot for the Friars. They have 6 days off after this one. Then they will host 12th ranked West Virginia next Tuesday. West Virginia beat Rutgers. Only league loss is to UConn. Well, Canoyer fell asleep there, and Soignier gets a layup at the other end. Now the shot clock is off. Montgomery a little too aggressive. UConn did have a foul to give, so it won't cost them. It's only their 6th, her first. And one last chance for Providence. Holmes is letting the time expire for a bit while in the backcourt before she faces the pressure from the defense. Canoyer to Holmes. Nicely done with 6 to go. Soignier with 2. Montgomery, it's good if it goes, but it does not. But a lot of them did go in the first half, especially from Tina Charles. Scoring those 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting. UConn shot 66%, and those 49 points, the most points they scored in a half since they got 53 against Purdue on January 6th. They lead it by 26.
Oh, he gave you New Brunswick, New Jersey's Chris Daly. I was going to call her the lady in red, Bob. Oh, New Brunswick's finest, or so she thinks. CD, obviously a lot of talk was made about the big guys, and particularly Tina Charles. Are you happier with the effort here tonight?
Oh, I think the effort's much better, and that's the thing you don't want to have to coach. Effort should always be there. You want to coach position, you want to coach, particulars, but I think the effort by all our post players has been good.
We've talked a lot about Renee Montgomery, too, and how the toughness that she brings to this team, that that her personality, she seems to be setting the tone with.
Yeah, today she's struggling a little bit, which I guess because of the way she's played the last 3 or 4 games, I'm kind of surprised. But it can take its toll on you, so we need to have other people step up. I thought Keisha played a great end of the first half. Maya is, she didn't score for the first few minutes, and then she went on a tear and had 9. So we need to help her out in that area.
All right, now really the most important question: who are you rooting for tomorrow in the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings.
Why, Tom Brady because he's cute, right?
Well, I tell Tanya loves the Patriots, but there's something about the Giants. Steve Spagnuolo, I know, and I've been in touch with him since. Didn't ask him for tickets, but and there's something about Eli Manning. I think the guy, he isn't a whiner and he can't win in New York. So I don't know. Honestly, I'll tell you this: if it was a week ago, I would have picked the Giants. Now that it's 2 weeks, I'm going to say Patriot.
All right,
I gotta go. Bye. Back to you, Bob.
Too bad we didn't have time for more, huh? How about that analysis? Steve Spagnuolo, the Giants defensive coordinator, used to be on former UConn football coach Tom Jackson's staff here in Stores. Tina Charles with a huge first half. The little jump hook, block shot. She moved into 10th on the all-time list in that category. Little jump hook yet again. A steal. And another steal. It all added up to 12 points, 6 rebounds on 5 of 6 shooting for Charles. And Maya Moore is called for the travel. She left her feet with the ball and came down with the ball, and that is against the rules.
I thought we were going to have to delay the start of the second half.
Oh,
Chris
she was breaking it down. How about a just Giants or Patriots, huh?
No.
Oh, goodness. I didn't even notice. Did she get the back to you, Bob, in there?
She finally did. She couldn't remember it.
Wow.
You see, you've heard of the expression chatty Cathy. Well, we can say chatty Chris here tonight.
Hankins with the shot over Moore. Hankins has 9. Down low, McLaren in and out of her hand.
Well, 2 turnovers in a row here for Maya Moore.
There's the first half stats. Look at the UConn field goal shooting percentage.
I mean, 63%. Wow. I know the number that Gino might be looking at instead of that is the fact that they only hit 2 3-pointers.
They assisted on 15 of 19 baskets. Holmes, defended by Montgomery. The front end of that 2-3 zone. And Moore steps in for the steal but couldn't control it.
I'll tell you what. 3 plays in a row. She's trying to throw the ball in. God bless her. She kicked it out.
Excuse me. Someone's got to throw it in. There we go.
She tried. She's got a smile on her face. She said, hey, I did the best I could. I went over there standing like I could inbound it.
Catch and shoot Holmes. Rebound Charles, her 7th. Here's Montgomery. Has Moore to her right. Finds her for 3. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by McLaren.
I'd have to say easily for this young lady's career, these 4 possessions in a row are her worst.
She's made up for it, though.
Oh, no doubt.
She sprinkles in a few good ones, too. There's Charles with her 8th rebound.
She's still the first one up the floor every time. And she'd be the first one to tell you that they were her worst.
Montgomery and the foul.
She is just so good getting to the basket. The thing about Renee, it's not that she's so much quicker than everybody else, but she has a knack for getting to the rim.
Montgomery misses the free throw. Offensive rebound, McLaren. And she had to get those puppies out of there.
Montgomery was calling for the ball out on the opposite wing. They didn't find her.
They called the foul over the PA system on Darian. If so, that's her 2nd. I thought it was on Holmes.
41.
And
3-second call on Kylie McLaren.
Okay. There's a look at McLaren, who was the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Maryland 2 years ago when she was a senior at Our Lady of Good Counsel High School in Olney, Maryland, a suburb of our nation's capital. Hankins. Cross court knocked away by Montgomery.
And the freshman Hankins will learn that you can't make passes like that with a defender of Renee Montgomery's caliber lurking nearby.
Phil Seymour told me Hankins gives us a scoring threat, but she has to get stronger and she has to become more consistent. Pretty much sums up every freshman, doesn't it? Traveling violation on Darian, who missed 27 games last year with an injury. A year ago, Providence was 13-16 overall, but only 3-13 in the Big East, tied for 13th. They did not qualify for the Big East tournament. High post Moore, spins and fires. Rebound batted around. Dorsey's got it on a hop. Ahead to Holmes. We played 2.5 minutes second half. UConn by 26. And that one was nearly sent into the student section. Much to that man's chagrin. Phil was a good player at Canisius. He actually got drafted by the Knicks.
He's got such a calm demeanor.
Spent 10 years as an assistant under John Beeline. 7 at Canisius and 3 at Richmond. Chatting with Phil before the game. Says he stays in touch with John. John's having a tough season. He's got a major rebuilding program he inherited at Michigan, but he'll turn it around. He's one of the top coaches in the country. Traveling violation on Dixon. What do you think, Megan, is the toughest transition for a guy like Phil Seymour to make that switch just overnight from coaching men's basketball to women's basketball?
Gosh, well, the one thing that every man who's ever coached men and then comes to women, the one thing that has been consistent is that they all say the women listen better. So it's typically a good transition. I think the physicality of it and the athleticism above the rim, obviously that's not there, as you see the three-pointer knocked down.
Dorsey.
By Dorsey. But I think it's that the game is not played above the rim. But they're usually all pleasantly surprised with how easy the transition is and how enjoyable it is.
14 points for Charles, and Seymour will get a timeout right here.
I mean, those are huge members to lose. And, aside from the points, assists and steals and leadership, I think leadership might even be the biggest thing as well, because they're left with a team that is very, very young.
Darian banks one off the glass.
Yeah, one of the few juniors on this class.
She's got 4 and more, now has 14.
Matter of time before she got out of that. That was a little funk for Maya Moore. It lasted, 5 minutes?
Her first 3 of the night. She's 5th in the Big East in three-point percentage at 42.7.
Oh, the third 3 for the night for UConn.
Lawrence with a shot. Did that shot have any rotation on it at all? Wow. Montgomery, and I think we're going to get a charge on the Huskies 2-guard. Maya Moore already has been named the Big East Freshman of the Week 6 times. In fact, she was named last Monday for the 6th time. She got 14 points tonight. No, we're not allowed to participate. Big crowd on hand. UConn second in the country in attendance, and among those in the crowd, hard for him to hide when you're 7'3".
I was running back from my interview with Chris Daly and I almost tripped over his feet.
Well, his feet go from here to there. Hashim Thabit, the 7'3" center for the UConn men's team. He blocked 5 shots today in the Huskies' 60-53 win over 21st-ranked Pitt at the XL Center for their 5th straight win. Knocking down the 3 is Trinity Hull.
And I got to say, Thabit is probably the most loyal fan.
Yeah, he's here a lot.
He's always here.
McLaren knocks down the jumper. UConn men's team got whacked by Providence in Hartford a couple of weeks ago. Probably the low point of the season, and they haven't lost since. They won 5 in a row, including 3 wins over nationally ranked teams. Beat Indiana, ranked number 8 last week. Beat Pitt, ranked 21st today. Beat Marquette, ranked 13th 2 weeks ago. Right side jumper Hull, offensive rebound Darian.
What a big win against Pitt.
Official attendance tonight, 9,893. We just counted them during this last possession. Dixon feeds Moore.
Nice unselfish play by Lauren Dixon. It's freshman to freshman.
Megan, how do you think she has adapted to her role as the starting point guard on the #1 ranked team in the country?
Well, she's done a remarkable job, and Gino had so much confidence in her because she's mentally tough. She's a smart player. She works incredibly hard, and I think it's been seamless.
Charles with the rebound, and there's her 10th double-double of the year because it's her 10th rebound of the night. Dixon feeds McLaren, who wasn't looking for it. Soignier for three. Rebound. Bounces around into Holmes' hand. The big thing with Dixon, I think, is she just does not turn the ball over. Has not since she moved into the starting lineup.
She's a smart kid, and she's a smart basketball player on top of it. Those two things don't always go together.
Hankins with the air ball, and it will go back to the Huskies.
And she doesn't try to force it, which is so important. She lets the game come to her. And she doesn't try to do anything spectacular. Just make the simple pass.
In her first 16 games coming off the bench, 9 assists, 18 turnovers. In the first 4 games as a starter, 20 assists and 7 turnovers. And that's what you look for from your point guard, particularly on a team where there are other people who can score. Gardler. Wow. Somehow there was no foul call there. Here's Dorsey the other way. There's a foul call there, though. A charge on Dorsey.
Another smart play by Keisha Soignier. She has done that so many times, stepping in and taking the charge. Grimacing a little bit. I think that one may have hurt a bit going down.
11th time this year that Soignier has taken a charge. It's kind of like when you're going to the dentist. You know it's going to hurt, but you got to do it anyway. Dixon misses the shot. Rebound, Maya Moore.
Maya Moore had great inside position and boxed out.
Rebound, Ashley Etheridge with her first appearance, and she was reinstated yesterday. Young lady from Middletown, Connecticut. Went to Mercy High School. So a thrill for her, I'm sure, getting to play here at the famous Gamble Pavilion, the home of the #1 ranked team in the country. She's played in 14 games, averages 3 points per game. Deflected out of bounds with 9 on the shot clock. Elsewhere in the Big East tonight, Louisville hammering USF. Cardinals trying to improve their record to 4-5 in the Big East. McLaren gets a nice ovation as she departs, replaced by Sharday Houston. Here's Hall. Well, use your teammates a little more than that. Tried to force it between 2 players and came away without the basketball. Soignier to Moore, catch and shoot. Rebound pulled down by Darien, her 5th. She's 9th in the Big East in rebounding. Etheridge, a 4-time All-State selection in Connecticut. First shot of the night does not hit the rim. Here's a look at Ashley Etheridge, the 2nd leading scorer in Mercy High School history.
And the sad part is she gets into the game, and the first thing that happens is she shoots an air ball, and the crowd here starts chanting it. You know she heard it. It's not the way she wanted to make her debut in her home state.
She lives in Portland, Connecticut. Went to school in nearby Middletown and Mercy. Look at the hustle on Gardler. Dixon, and Gardler's hustle was rewarded.
When a great pass from Lauren Dixon. It's a great job by Dixon, keeping her head up and watching the play. And Providence just fell asleep a little bit back there. Gardler snuck, she just sort of stayed around after that play, after that a great hustle play.
She has very solid instincts. Soignier with her team-leading 39 steals.
Talk about instincts. Great anticipation there by Soignier to step in that passing lane.
Soignier 9th in UConn history with steals. That's her 219th. Etheridge, I hope this one hits the rim for her sake. It does. Houston with the rebound.
Hey, I wanted her to make it.
Here's Soignier. And Dixon will try to restart the offense. A very small UConn lineup on the floor. Soignier with another 3.
3 threes on the night for Keisha Soignier.
And 20 for the season. The 3-point shot has become a much bigger part of UConn's offense in the last
heads-up play by Hall.
4 weeks or so.
to come in and steal that outlet pass from Maya Moore.
Dorsey for 3.
Maya Moore is doing such a good job of boxing out in the lane.
Look at Dixon just explode past everyone.
Oh,
great.
What a block.
Catch up block by Darian. UConn well on its way to a 21-0 start for only the 5th time in UConn history. Terrific block shot by Darian, but the Friars still have a lot of work to do. They're down 34. This telecast isn't going back to Vienna, is it? On the internet, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you can get on the internet anywhere. Houston, nice move to the basket. Houston, the leading scorer in California high school history, broke the great Cheryl Miller's record. Miller is a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame. One of the great players in the history of the women's game. Canoyer tripped up. Here's Etheridge. Canoyer double teamed and then threw it right into Gardler's lap. 20th turnover for the Friars. They had 29 Wednesday night at Notre Dame. Down low, Charles fouled by Canoyer. Her 3rd. And 3 on Providence here in the second half.
DC foul number 33.
So Tina Charles only taking 4 free throws here.
3rd foul on Canoyer, 13th foul.
This evening. She's got to get herself to the line more.
2 foul shots.
On Monday, she was named to the Big East Honor Roll for the 4th time this season. And on Tuesday of this week, she was named one of 2 UConn players on the mid-season list of nominees for the Naismith National Player of the Year Award. The other one, Maya Moore.
Yeah, Montgomery taken off that list.
As was Houston.
And that's, you know what, that's great motivation for Renee Montgomery.
Hankins over Charles. He may have altered that one. Houston comes away with it. Here's Dixon. Looking inside. Nothing there yet. Instead, Montgomery still looking inside. Charles really going at it. Now she gets it down low. She's double teamed. Knocked out of bounds by Providence.
It was funny watching that bounce pass from Lauren Dixon into Charles. I thought to myself, wow, how many times has Lauren Dixon bounced that ball into Tina Charles from their high school days to now, and how many will they do the next couple years?
High school teammates for 3 years.
How about that pass?
Tough pass to complete. Somehow Houston did it. It's like Tom Brady, the way she threaded the needle on that one.
And unfortunately, she doesn't get the assist as Charles missed the shot, and then Gardler got called for a foul. Trying an offensive rebound.
First on Gardler, 2 in the team. Speaking of awards and Maya Moore being nominated, Gino Auriemma said, I don't care what record she sets along the way. I just want her to be playing in the last game of the year, which would be the NCAA final in Tampa on April 8th.
And I don't know if anybody would have predicted with a foul called there on Jessica Clark. I don't know if anyone would have thought coming in that Maya Moore would have such an enormous role in making sure this team gets to that final game.
Well, when we were at Villanova, Harry Peretta told us that Maya Moore is so good, knowing full well that it came down to UConn and Tennessee in the end, and she chose UConn, that in Harry's opinion, her coming to UConn is probably enough to turn the what's the word I'm looking for?
The tides.
Change the direction of the power. He said it more eloquently than I. Between the two. That, in other words, if she went to Tennessee.
Balance of power.
There you go. Houston lays it in. That if she were on Tennessee, Tennessee would be the best team in the country. But because she's on UConn, in his opinion, UConn's the best.
And then you think about who's coming in next year. Elena Deladon, Caroline Doty, Tiffany Hayes, Heather Buck. Wow.
I think most people expect Deladon to be named the National High School Player of the Year, although she missed a lot of playing time with a bout of mononucleosis. She's back from that. Hull hits the jumper.
Nice shot there by Hull. It was a nice dish from Etheridge.
You know who could chime in on the UConn-Tennessee debate in another week is Vivian Stringer, because Rutgers plays UConn on Tuesday and then plays Tennessee next weekend. Back to back.
What a week for the Scarlet Knights, huh?
What's the matter? They couldn't get a date with the Celtics somewhere in there?
Nice pass.
Houston.
Great pass from Renee Montgomery.
Montgomery with 10 assists tonight, and that's a new career high. Doesn't she realize she's not supposed to do that anymore? She's the 2 guard.
That's what's so great about this team. You know, you got Lauren Dixon and Renee Montgomery. They're both great at passing the ball, and Montgomery's having some fun right now. I mean, think about this. Deladon, as you said, will most likely be named National Player of the Year. And then you got the Connecticut Player of the Year, Caroline Doty, who is out her senior year with a torn ACL, but she'll be healthy come next season. And Tiffany Hayes, who no one's talking about down there in Florida, and she is incredibly talented.
Brittany Dorsey hits the right side jumper. Tiffany Hayes' team is about to begin play in the state tournament. They get underway early in Florida, Winter Haven High School. So if Deladon is named the National Player of the Year, that would mean that UConn would have the last 3 National Players of the Year in Charles, Moore, and Deladon. Tahira Williams checks in. She just celebrated her 21st birthday on Wednesday night against USF. It'll be homecoming for her next week twice.
Yeah, going back down to New Jersey. Rutgers Tuesday night, and then Seton Hall. Yeah, Seton Hall on Saturday. Her parents are always driving up here to the games. They'll save a lot of gas money next week.
Hankins in and out of the hands of Darian. 21st turnover for Providence. Montgomery drives to the basket, was trying to draw the foul, and succeeded in doing that. It will be on Dorsey. When UConn played at Seton Hall 2 years ago, the entire Williams family was in attendance, including her twin brother Isaiah, who's a football player at Maryland. Montclair, New Jersey is located only about 15 minutes from the Seton Hall campus. Montgomery knocks down the shot. So now on Tuesday night, your dad Wally played football at Rutgers, right?
He did.
Who's he rooting for? Is he rooting for his alma mater or his daughter's alma mater?
He's a UConn guy.
Sure.
Through and through. Absolutely. And Rutgers, he can root for them other nights. But and in football,
nice of you to decide that for him.
We've had these conversations at length.
Phil Seymour showing the good hands on the bench.
They were up here for the UConn-Rutgers football game.
Yep. Big win for the Huskies. Cassie Kearns will come in. Now, we mentioned this the other night. Tuesday's game, folks, is going to be televised only on CSTV, the College Sports Television Network. CPTV does not have the rights to broadcast the game, so don't waste your time calling and complaining. There's nothing that we can do about that. There are broadcast rights, and networks pay a lot of money for them, and CSTV pays for a Tuesday night Big East Game of the Week package, and that's the game Tuesday. And the reason we're not carrying it is our general manager, or president and general manager Jerry Franklin, has this very finicky thing. He doesn't like to be sued. And if we carried the game, we would get sued because we don't have the rights to it. Just like a lot of Patriots fans are watching. Most of the Patriots games are on CBS, right? CBS doesn't have the game tomorrow night. Fox does. If CBS carried the game, they'd get sued. So we suggest, as Hankins takes the shot, if you don't know whether or not you have CSTV, call your local cable operator on Monday. First of all, find out if it's available. And if not, find out if you can get it. And if all else fails, you can always watch the game on the CSTV website. It's not the ideal situation to watch the game on the internet, but it beats not watching it, right?
Absolutely. The old days, I would probably go to an establishment and watch it there.
Yep.
Two kids have changed that.
The libraries have internets all over the place. And if all else fails, join Bob Joyce and Carol Walters on WTIC Tuesday night. Down low, laying it up and in is the big center, Jessica Clark. And then we'll be right back at you next Saturday afternoon from Seton Hall, 2 o'clock here on CPTV. There's the reach-in foul on Dorsey. It's her 4th. And 6 on the team.
4th on Dorsey, sixth team foul.
Providence did a really good job of limiting their fouls. You know, the way the game was going early, you thought, all right, they're already down to 9 players. You don't want people fouling out. They did a really good job of minimizing their fouls as this game has gone on.
13, Jackie Fernandez checks in, the 5'9" sophomore from Pawcatuck, Connecticut. McLaren turns, fires. Got a nice touch.
You know, Kylie McLaren is so talented. You know, she can pass the ball. She can shoot the ball from anywhere on the floor. She can shoot it.
She's got 11. It's her second double-figure scoring game of the season, 4th of her career. Holmes, who made the Big East all-freshman team. Boy, Dorsey's not shy and has had pretty good success knocking down. That's her 4th 3 of the night.
She had 6 threes earlier in the year against Harvard.
Foul charge number 12.
However, she just fouled out of the game. So Providence will have to get another player when we come back with UConn up 36. But 7 are. Look at that.
It's pretty remarkable, and I can remember the day when people talked about what a joke the Big East was, and now it is the best team, the best conference rather, in the country.
Conference which has produced 6 national champions since 1995. UConn winning 5 of them. Notre Dame winning 1. Rutgers got to the championship game a year ago. Keisha Soignier departs. That was her 17th point, and that is a career high. Her dad is here, making the trip from Georgia, as he so often has done over the last 4 years. So Holmes now has 7 points after knocking down the 3-pointer. Tahira Williams to McLaren. Puts it on the floor. And I think that went off one of her feet. It did. 17th turnover for Gino Auriemma's club. He's not unhappy again, is he?
He's always unhappy.
They played a lot better tonight than they did the other night. They went over USF. Darien tried to dribble through 3 people. That didn't work out too well. Held ball. Arrow pointing toward Providence with 19 to shoot. McLaren made the Big East all-rookie team last year, as did Tina Charles. And Kendria Holmes, who will throw the inbound pass, was also on that team for Providence.
You think Maya Moore might make it?
Got a pretty good chance. I'm going to go out on a limb. 6-time Big East Rookie of the Week already.
Yeah, Rebecca Lobo's got the record.
Not for
7.
long.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be falling.
Counted in the foul. Darien with a chance for a 3-point play. They're going to name a town after her if she keeps that up. Not a bad town to live in either, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So Darien will try to complete the 3-point play. She went to the Hun School. That's where Gino Auriemma's son Mike is.
He's a postgraduate down there.
Playing his basketball in Princeton, right down the street from Trenton. Fernandez gives to Gardler. Gardler will hoist the 3. Long rebound to Hankins. Here's Holmes trying to get something in transition. Etheridge for the jumper. Rebound Kearns. Fernandez will walk it up the floor. Providence with the 11 wins, Megan. That means they already have double-digit wins, and they've done it 2 years in a row, and it's the first time they've done that since the 2000 through 2002 stretch.
Well, and think about it. They're doing it without 2 of their best players, but 3 players overall. Not to mention a couple of the academic issues that have been thrown in there, aside from those injuries.
Etheridge, boy, the crowd just won't let up on Etheridge. And Holmes uses the glass for another 3. So she's got 10, her 14th double-figure scoring game.
A member of the Big East all-rookie team last year.
McLaren inside the 2-minute mark. So UConn is going to beat Providence for the 23rd straight time. Gardler has her shot blocked. Shot clock didn't recycle. It's inside 10. Crowd is making sure Fernandez is aware of that. Feeds Kearns, who hit the bottom of the backboard.
Nice penetration, though, by Fernandez to get in there.
And Phil Seymour will call a timeout just so he can get a substitution. Pernoyer will come in. So UConn is going to make it 208 consecutive home wins against unranked opponents. Out of the timeout, Providence ball with 90 seconds remaining. Friars are 1-14 at Gamble Pavilion. The only one we told you to win in the Big East Championship game back in 1990. And that was back at a time, Megan, that when you were playing, where Providence was, over a period of years, probably the best team in the Big East.
They were. They played this up-tempo style. They scored 100 points a game.
Gardler with the miss. Lead pass to Holmes. Gets a half step on Gardler. Counted in the foul.
Well, watch, text, and win with CPTV's Text Trivia Challenge. Here's the question, folks. When does a Geno show usually air on CPTV? Tonight's challenge ends when the game clock hits 0, so please text A, B, or C to 57901 now, and stay tuned after the game when we'll announce tonight's winner on air.
There's a young man who, what do you think? UConn class of what?
Oh, look at him. He's got a Providence jersey. He's a Friars. He's working on that popcorn. Nice job there, little man.
Maybe he's related to Ashley Etheridge. He's wearing number 3. She's from Connecticut. Who knows?
My guess is a nephew.
Providence now with a 12-0 run. UConn has fallen victim to many of those this year. Fernandez, shot clock at 7. Gardler with the jumper. Rebound to Hankins, and the shot clock is off. So Holmes will walk it up the floor. UConn is going to make it 14 consecutive regular season home wins against Big East teams, and Phil Seymour, it's like they're not going to bother to shoot. Fans on their feet. And for the first time in 5 years and the 5th time in school history, the UConn Huskies are 21-0. And look at what they've done over an extended stretch against unranked teams and against Big East teams. It's also their 82nd win here at Gamble Pavilion in their last 84 games. The only losses in that stretch to Notre Dame and to Rutgers. The Huskies beat Providence for the 23rd straight time, 80-54. With 4 players in double figures, UConn beats Providence 80-54. Bob Picozzi back at Gamble Pavilion. One of those 4 was Keisha Soignier. She had a career high 17 points. She's with Megan Kumo.
Bob, thank you very much. Keisha, career high 17. Did you have your Wheaties today?
A little bit. I talked to you before the game, and I figured the last time I talked to you, I had my career high. So in order to talk to you again, which I love doing, I had to get another career high.
I like this. We should do this on a regular basis. What was it about this team? I mean, you guys, they're a little bit undermanned. And you guys coming off that game the other night at the Civic Center, where I know you had that early practice the next day. Coach wasn't real happy. What was the difference you made between then and now?
I think we're more focused as a team, and we just play absolutely terrible on Wednesday. You know, these fans come out here to see us play, and they travel, pay all that money for a ticket, and they deserve a better show than that. So we did a little better today. I'm ready to get ready for Rutgers on Tuesday.
Yeah, always a tough one, but now we got to look at tomorrow, the Super Bowl, Keisha. What do you think?
I'm not really worried about the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter to me who wins. It's whatever.
How about Tuesday? Your thoughts going down there to the RAC?
The RAC is a very tough place to play. I expect it to be a sold-out crowd. And we got to go down there and just play together, and we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. With Coach being our leader.
Well, I know we got to have a Rosie or a Smokey sighting in the crowd, right?
Definitely. Smokey will be at the game in attendance.
All right, that's your dad. We love him.
Yep, I love him. Love you, Mom. Hey, Miss Parker. Hey, Leighton. Hey, Mr. Parker. Take care, Meg.
Thank you, Keish. Great job. All right, we have Geno Auriemma chatting away over here.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks for coming over, because I believe the last game you wouldn't come talk to us. Not happy with the game Wednesday night. Better effort here tonight.
Well, the restaurants closed early in Hartford, so I had to hurry up and get out there. Tonight I'm just going home, so I got a little time to kill. What do you want to know? Yeah, we played better tonight. Keisha played better.
Well, you didn't look quite as miserable as you did the other night.
Not to the last 4 minutes when, the other guys got in and set basketball back about 100 years. We can't get those guys to make any shots. I mean, it's unbelievable. It looks like demolition derby when those guys are out there playing. But, hey, Renee didn't shoot the ball well and ended up having a great floor game. I think she ended up with about 10 assists. And Keisha played tremendous basketball. And, that's what you want. You want players to kind of step up and fill some voids and, not having Brittany again. I thought Kylie stepped in and did a pretty good job. Really, everybody that played pretty well, and I was happy to see that.
Well, your team shares the ball so well. I think you had 21 assists on 34 field goals. You guys just continue to distribute and share. Yeah,
sometimes to a fault. I think we pass up a lot of shots, but I'd rather have it that way than the other way. It becomes contagious. We make an extra pass and then someone else makes an extra pass, and I think everybody's comfortable doing that. And it's kind of one of the signature, marks of our team, and I'm kind of proud of it.
Well, Tina Charles had a much better effort today, would you say?
Yeah. Randy was telling me she got more rebounds in the first 5 minutes than she did the whole game against South Florida. So, well, her mom was here. She's afraid of her mom. She wants to do well in front of her mom. I think if I could put her mom on the coaching staff, I think Tina would have, a triple-double.
Maybe if you don't have her, maybe you could just have a cardboard cutout of her.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. But otherwise, the crowd was great.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, boy, what a great crowd. It's most people I've seen here in a long, long time, and it was fantastic. It was a great atmosphere, and Providence made a lot of shots. For a team that hasn't won but one game in the league, they played pretty well tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm happy with the way we played.
All right, your thoughts on the Super Bowl? Who's going to win?
Well, I said the Pats were going to win, something like 24-21 or some nonsense like that. But I'm a little bit, the Giants. If the Giants were playing a Giant Stadium, I would definitely pick the Pats because they can't win at home for nothing. But you know what? There's something about the way they're playing on the road and pull-out games they're not supposed to win, and I don't know. Everybody says the Patriots. Me too, but I got a sneaky suspicion something funny could come up.
All right, that's a pretty lame answer.
No, it isn't. I think I'm telling the truth. If you ask me, who I think is going to win, I told you the Patriots are going to win. But if I ever thought they were going to lose, tomorrow's the day. What's wrong with that? But I think they're going to win. But if you asked me 2 weeks ago, could they lose 2 weeks ago, I would say no way. If you asked me, could they lose tomorrow, I'd say yeah, absolutely. Why? Because I said so. All right? Stop asking me questions.
That's it. Goodbye. Bob?
Well, we were on the air for 2 hours and about 40 minutes spent with the two coaches discussing the Super Bowl. Keisha Soigné, career high 17 points. Maya Moore, 16 points. Tina Charles, 15 points, 11 rebounds. Kylie McLaren, season high 11. Renee Montgomery, career high 10 steals. UConn shot 53%. Leading the way for Providence, Brittany Dorsey with 14, Kendria Holmes with 13. Friars go to 11-10, 1-7 in the league. They'll host West Virginia next Saturday. UConn 21-0, 8-0 in the league. They visit Rutgers Tuesday. Then they'll visit Seton Hall next Saturday, 2 o'clock here on CPTV. For Megan Kumo, I'm Bob Picozzi. Once again, the final UConn 80 and Providence 54. The preceding has been a presentation of Connecticut Public Television. Stay tuned. Masterpiece Theater, North Hanger Abbey is next on CPTV. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everyone. UConn beats the Friars by 26. The Huskies are 21-0.